Okay, now recording will start. This is Bangladesh Engineers and Architects Worldwide. Today, BD Students Leadership Building Session number 8. Okay, and today moderator is Abrar Bin Murshed, grade 8. Okay, Abrar, before to
Yes.
start, okay, I will invite Rafiq Bhai, Engineer Rafiqul Islam Bhai, to
Okay.
give the short speech. Then Muazzam Bhai will start, give the short speech. Then we'll start. Okay,
Okay.
Abrar.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Thank you very much, Reja, for your noble arrangement and your noble initiative. So that is give us opportunity to know each other and to share our ideas and views among the participants, particularly our future leaders across the globe. So now in Bangladesh, how many students joining from Bangladesh? May I know at this moment?
today,
Reza, is
today,
there
I believe,
any idea how many participants
I
from
believe today
Bangladesh?
nobody from
No,
Bangladesh.
nobody. So
Because
most of
Rafiq
the
Bhai,
from
Bangladesh time is almost 11 o'clock. This time also issue actually.
but in
So we
future you
must
can consider the changing of time
definitely,
as because
definitely.
Bangladesh is at 11 o'clock is time to sleep. On the next day, students will go to school and people, other people and the students, guardian may need to go to office also. In future, we can consider the changing the time. What do you, Majim bhai, what do you think?
It's okay. It's okay.
Yes, okay, yeah. I think we can just reschedule the timing, 9 to 8. Even 8 is enough for us. At that time, Bangladesh will be 10 p.m. So 2 hours difference is enough for them, so that we can facilitate our Bangladeshi students and future leaders to join this program. Actually, I want to just focus one point. At this point of time, COP28 is ongoing, and our students and future leaders should know about the COP28. Actually, what is the vision and what is the purpose of the COP28 and what is going to be discussed there, particularly regarding this our reduce the carbon footprint, decarbonization, and reduce the greenhouse gases emission. This all these topics our students should know. Our students should know about the what is waste management, particularly about the three R. R for reduce, another R for reuse, and the recycle. So this is all the points is very important to establish our sustainability. In future, we have to live in the society in harmony with the all living beings. So for that perspective, sustainability is very important. That is going to be discussed in COP28, and I would request Reja to arrange on session about the COP28 outcome, and hopefully we are going to join Sunday to COP28. When I requesting and inviting our engineers also and students also to participate in the COP28 going to be held in Expo 2020 venue. Everybody knows about it. So I hope I and request organizers, particularly Reza, to arrange on session about the outcome of the COP28, where we can share and we can gather our knowledge. Okay, that's all
Yeah.
from my side. Okay, Raja, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. All the best.
Okay, thank you very much for the valuable speech from Engineer Rafiqul Islam Bhai. Now, Muazzam Bhai, you are requested to deliver
Uh,
our speech.
Thank you very much for the student session. I think I read it and I found some of the important topics today regarding some video games and then internet based and then mobile based. Students are sometimes playing or sometimes using for their lesson learning session. They're using the mobile. So today is very interesting session. I think student will enjoy their this session. My site. I want to advise the student only one part that the video games on the mobile base, whatever it is, particular topics is very, very effective for the students, and there is an impact for the students who are enjoying these video games and whatever the mobile games they are using. Only careful part and then alarming part is there. No student or any student should not be addicted. The word we are using, the addicted, it's supposed not to be. Any of the things, if we are addicted, if we play games, should not be addicted. If we travel, should not be addicted. If we read 24 hours, should not be addicted. If we running, should not be addicted. So addiction word, in a sense, positive way, if we think it, any of the things, we should not be addicted. We are using the word addicted only for the negative sense. Really, addiction is not only for using the negative sense. Addiction is useful for positive, as well as sometimes we are using as negative. So should not be taken as addiction only for the negative. We take it as positive that the games and the lesson learning, if we use this video or the some internet-based some curriculum or like some lesson learning, that addiction or like this concentration with the mobiles and the video display, that will help the student. That is should this addiction will help his lesson learning. That should be the good and positive way. And other wasting the time and enjoying the video and which is out of his knowledge or out of his syllabus or out of the lesson learning, that will be the bad way sense we can see addiction. That should be avoided. That is my side. I can advise the students, whatever the grade, if you are the like high schools, if you supposed to be the college students, you supposed to be the avoiding all these things. That is our advice. And I appreciate what's our Rafiq Bhai is advising. COP28, we are expecting Rafiq Bhai or our side or Reza Rahman side, let's prepare some 4-5 slides, the gist of this COP28 to understand that what is the COP28, what is the main gist for this one. Really climate change or compensation of the climate change or only carbon footprint or impact of the carbon footprint or the climate change will impact the whole world. That will impact for like Bangladesh and nearby these countries or these lowland countries, how it will be affected because of this climate change. And that's the COP, the importance and fund collection for the compensation of these lowland countries. That's, I think, 4, 5 or 10 slides will be enough to understand. Even maybe some engineers, even some adult or some student, maybe they do not have this clear understanding and concept about the COP28. So let's, we'll discuss the later session. The students are waiting. We should not take more time to discuss about the part. So we appreciate Reza Rahman, Amdad Hussain, who are like involving in such good initiative and globally are like attractive. All the students, like adult engineers, all professionals, all are like nowadays involved with this session. We are also feeling very much interested. We are every day we are joining the session. Hopefully you will be success. We are along with you and we are supporting you. All the best. Go ahead, please. Thank you very much. Congratulations for this session.
Thank you very much, Mojam Bhai. Definitely, we'll arrange one session for the COP28. Okay, and Mojam Bhai, I want to tell you that here everybody is here is a Saria, Rafazel. Everybody is like as an organizer. I can tell everybody is like my child, like our child actually, our daughter, our son. So, and we are trying to build the leadership, and we'll monitor them in the future also during the professional life, during the university. Everybody is like my son and daughter, our daughter. Okay, okay, Abrar Pro, good luck for you, and you can start as a moderator and give opportunity to all to participate. Okay, good luck.
Okay, can I start now?
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Abrar Bin Murshed, as my username Abrar Pro. So we are going to talk about 3 topics, and at the end we are going to do Q&A. So let's start. Did everybody join? First of all, Uncle, your mic is muted.
Everyone joined except for Abdullah, Tafhim, and Tahsin.
Okay. Let's start. So our first topic is positive and negative effects on kids because of playing video games. Okay, Saria, you can go.
Okay, so so the topic is positive and negative effects on kids because of playing video games. So even though people think that there's many negative effects of playing video games, there's actually positive effects also. For example, for example, um, for positive effects, you can get more creative. Games actually teach you creativity, and there's lots of things in games that are actually helpful for real life. So games also encourage teamwork, and it improves like strategy. Like some games are like, yeah, you have to do problem solving, so this can help you in the real life. So these are the positive effects of playing video games, and it also encourages critical thinking. Now, the negative effects is that some people actually are addicted to video games, and they play too much, and they play more than they're supposed to. This can be bad for their health, physical and mental health, and this can be bad for their vision as well. And they might not be doing well in real life. Like, they might be falling behind in school, not interacting with people, being not socializing, etc. So these are negative effects of playing video games. I would say that there are more, I think, negative effects than positive effects of playing video games. But it depends on what you do with your time. If you play video games in a good way and you don't spend too much time on it, then there's really nothing bad about it, unless you're addicted or spending too much time.
Those are some good points. Thanks for your opinion. Next is Sinan Fatin. You can speak up.
The positive effect of video games. There are a few, like uh, the ability. No, playing video games can increase your hand-eye coordination. Basically, when you're playing a game, and uh, let's say you're playing like uh, an action game, right? Then you see something on the screen, and then you have to react with by inputting something on your keyboard and mouse. This can this can effectively improve the average person's hand-eye coordination, and it can help with many different jobs like being a pilot, being in the military, etc. This is one of the effects of playing video games. And something similar is improving the cognitive skills. Let's take the same example, playing an action game. You will be able to see a lot of your screen properly while knowing what it actually is. This is also another positive effect of video games, and it can also help you get become better at different types of jobs. However, there are also some negative effects, just as Saria and one of the elders mentioned. uh, addi- addiction addiction it's there is no good addiction about video games. It's mostly bad, and this addiction can lead to a lower social reduced social interaction. And as people start playing video games for hours and hours at a time, it can it can destroy their daily habits and make their life less productive. And it's a very big problem nowadays, because people people all over the world that are addicted to video games are most likely to be obese or overweight. And this problem can be solved by time management, and that's about it.
Okay, just apropos, I request everybody to tell his or her name, which grade and which area, which country or which area, Alain, Dubai, like that. Huh? So these three
Okay,
information I
okay,
request.
okay, okay.
Okay.
So since we started the topic, and okay, so whoever is a student here, just introduce yourself. Okay, Miss Saria.
Okay, so I'm just gonna be introducing myself. So, assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Saria bin Shamul. I am engineer Shamul Islam Shagar's daughter. I am 11 years old. I am in grade 6 and I study in Rosary Private School in Sharjah, UAE, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so engineer Biko, you can go.
Okay, so hi, my name is Rapunjal Irene Bikurai. My dad's name is Engineer Bikurai, and I basically study in grade 5. And the district I live in is Elaine. That's about it.
Okay, next is Sinan Fatan. Introduce yourself.
Hello, assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Sinan Fatin, and I'm 15 years old. I am in grade 10, and I live in Al Ain, and I study in the International School of Shoifat.
Okay, is there anyone else? Uh, Rajib, yeah.
Hi, I'm Raghib, study in the International School of Shoifat, and I'm in grade 12, and I live in Alain. Thank you.
Okay, next is Rehan Ahmed.
Hello, my name is Rehan Ahmed. I study in Elaine Juniors. I live in Elaine and I'm studying in grade 12.
Okay, is there anyone else who wants to introduce themselves? Okay, so can I move on with the topic?
Yeah, surely start. Yeah.
Okay, so like we were talking about positive and negative effects on kids because of video games. So who was supposed to be next who wanted to talk? Engineer Biko.
Okay, yeah. So basically, there's a lot of positive and negative effects on using or playing video games. So one of the positive effects is you can be creative, and some video games are actually educational. And the negative is probably you're watching something inappropriate that's not for your age. And another negative effect is you could lose your vision or you could have poor eyesight. That's about all.
Okay, next is Radia Khan. You can speak up.
Okay, so I don't think I have introduced myself. So my name is Radia Khan. I'm 13 years old. I'm in grade 7 and I'm from Abu Dhabi. So some positive effects on playing video games are like it can increase your creativity. It can like as the people have said before, it can increase your creativity. It can like increase your teamwork skills, and um, it can increase your teamwork skills. And some of the negative effects on playing video games are like um, it can it can like it can keep you a distance from communication. Like if you play too much video games, you won't be able to like have the ability to communicate to people a lot, and like that way you have less friends. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so only a few people spoke. Is there anyone else who want to speak? Uh, Rehan Ahmed, did you say anything about the topic?
No, I haven't, but I'm glad you called because I actually had some thoughts on this topic. Most of what needs to be said has been said by the previous speakers, but just to summarize and add on to what they said, video games do have a lot of positive and negative effects. Some of the positive effects, as mentioned, were it helps with the puzzle solving skills. It can also help with the hand-eye coordination. It can just overall make you more strategically, thinking. Certain games which are made for educational purposes, or certain games which have a lot of strategy aspects to them and puzzle solving aspects to them, some people find them fun, and those games can actually develop that part of the brain. Now obviously there are also other games which have the opposite effect. Games which involve a lot of action, maybe some inappropriate inappropriate gameplay. And basically these games will cause you to not only become addicted because of the way they're made. It'll also cause you to essentially, let's say, lose track of time, lose track of your surroundings, because you're so involved into the game itself. And this is very dangerous, of course, if you're a student who with a very strict time schedule, and that also your eyesight, being glued to a screen for a long time, also has a very negative effect on your eyesight. And there's a lot more that can be said, but that's just what I wanted to add on to the current points that have been stated. So video games are very good for you, however they need to be moderated, and the duration the duration you play also needs to be moderated. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, is there anyone else who wants to say? Or Rajib, yeah, you can go on.
Yeah, okay. So regarding the effects that video games have on kids, I'd say that there are definitely many positives to this because kids, as we know, their primary way of getting along with each other is by socializing through the activities that they do, such as playing football, hide and seek, or any other outdoor activity. That's mainly the main way where how kids can socialize with each other. And I think video games opens a new doorway uh, regarding that same topic, uh, in a sense that video games can allow children to get along with each other even within the comforts of their own homes. And this has been really prevalent during the times of COVID, where going outside was basically impossible, and children, they were basically stripped off of their luxury to go outside and play with each other. But video games has enabled that to happen, and which I think is a really good thing. It definitely encouraged socialization in times where people were barely able to socialize outside. So this is one of the main positives. But as for the negatives, I think there's a lot to be said as well. Addiction, of course, is one of the biggest, and addiction is a huge problem because it can actually do the opposite of socialization. It can make you isolated from the society around you. And also addiction, if you're addicted to video games, that means you have video games, the thoughts of the video games running through your mind 24/7, which is a bad thing because if a greater part of your mind is occupied by video games, you won't be able to think creatively, which is one of the positives of video games. So it can also counteract that positive by stunting your creativity by occupying a greater part of your mind. Because you're thinking about video games all day, you have no time to be thinking about anything else that could be helpful in your life. So I think that's one of the biggest negatives. And also, it can make you lead a lifestyle that is unhealthy if you're that level of addicted. So yeah, those are some of the negatives and positives, and that's all I have to say.
Those are some really good points. Thanks for whoever spoke. But many people, I don't see many of the people talking. Uh, uh,
Abrar, yeah, you can call one by
well,
one to and
yeah,
encourage.
but
Duku talk.
Is there Siran Fatin? Did you speak?
Yes.
Uh, okay, Engineer Biko, you can say, I guess.
Okay, I just have to add something in it. So, as it is 2023, the year's about to end, right? The technology has improved quite a lot. So, you see, when we were doing online classes because of COVID 19, so when we were doing that, we basically had homeworks, tasks online. So, we had to do that online, and now we still do that. That's one of the positive things. And one of the negative things about this is that some schools, I'm talking about some, they gave like homework digitally. And digital homework is easy to do, to be honest. But sometimes they put a lot of amount of it that we can just print out, and yeah.
Okay, since mostly no one is talking, let's move on to the next topic. Importance of being humble and modest. Saria, you can go.
Okay, thank you. So the importance of being humble is that it helps you develop in life, because if you're humble about your achievements, people will look up to you as a role model. And like for example, let's say you topped your class. If you brag about it and if you're not humble about it, no one's going to look up to you and no one's gonna like you for that. But if you're humble about the fact that you got good marks, and you encourage others to do the same, people will look up to you and they're gonna say stuff like, oh, I want to be just like her. And you're gonna be a role model, and that's gonna be good for them, and it's also gonna be good for you. And also, um, being humble, being humble makes you appear very kind and very generous, and it's just phenomenally a very good thing. And it allows you to learn, because no one is perfect. So if you're humble about it, it shows that you're not perfect, you've made errors, you are not flawless. And that will make people feel better about their mistakes, because let's say you top the class again. I'm using it again as an example. If you top the class, most people are going to be like, oh, she probably got all good marks, but she could probably got the highest marks and everything. But if you show that you actually didn't, but you still got good marks, people will feel better about their flaws if they look up to you. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thanks for giving all the points. So I'm gonna say this meeting is for like for being a better leader. So I want everybody to speak up, please. Engineer Biko, you can speak now.
Okay, I've been waiting for my turn. So basically, if we're still at school, right? So we're trying to build our leadership. So when we want to be a good leader, we need to be humble and not brag about things that we like. Hi, I'm a leader, you're not. We don't need to brag about it. So we can be like a role model to the others who are not yet a leader and teach them how to be humble. That's all.
Thank you, and sorry for the disturbance. There are some guests at the house. So next is
It's
Sinan.
okay.
Okay, Sinan Fatin, you can speak up.
Something that the other speakers did not mention is what humble actually is. So I'll just say it. Being humble means that you're not bragging or showing off, and it's about being modest and treating others nicely, and not thinking that you're better than everyone else. Not being humble, it's like thinking that you're the best in the world, whatever. And being humble, it helps a person recognize their limitations. Basically, other people say that something is really difficult, and then that one person that's not humble, they try it, and they never successfully do it. Being humble, uh, that it can actually help with self-development, and it can also build a positive environment, as the aura of superiority around in your surrounding, it's not a good feeling, and being humble fixes that. It can also improve yourself socially, as you will be able to communicate with people better without the intention of you being better than everyone else, and free of the intentions of what luxuries you own, whatever. And it it can also help you understand the other people's perspectives and opinions better, as being humble can help you listen to them better and understand them better. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for speaking up. And this meeting, like I said, helps us. So please speak up, okay? So Ragi, you can go on.
Okay, thank you. So, being humble is very important because, as mentioned earlier, uh, people look up to humble people as role models because no one likes people who are arrogant. No one likes people who just boast about their achievements. No one likes such people, and being arrogant just makes you ignorant. It makes you not open-minded at all, and it makes you very close-minded and not open to what other people have to say. And it makes you very proud of your own achievements, which is not a likable trait at all. And that's where humbleness comes in. Uh, Humble people, they do not feel the need to boast about their achievements for any reason, such as validation or something like that. They're satisfied with the actions uh, that they're doing, and their only focus is to keep on improving. And humbleness, it builds trust among people because when people are humble, they acknowledge their own mistakes, and as mentioned earlier, acknowledging your own mistakes uh, can also make other people feel better about themselves because they know that the guy who's humble, is doing very well, but he's also a normal person because he also makes mistakes. And humble people, the thing about them is that they're very open-minded, so they're always open to listen to what other people have to say. They acknowledge that they can commit mistakes and that they're not perfect, and that every single person in the room that they're in knows something that they do not know. And so humble people usually tend to listen to what others have to say in order to gain knowledge from them, and this makes them very likable. And that's one of the most important things about being humble. And also, humility, it comes with a growth mindset, which essentially is the belief that you can always be better and there's always room for improvement. And this makes people, and that's why humble people, they don't feel the need to show off their achievements. They're just focused on improving themselves and keeping their achievements to themselves. They don't care about showing it off to others because it has no benefit to them whatsoever. And so, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Okay, thanks for your opinion. So next, who is not speaking?
Abrar, yeah, you can call one by one. Huh?
Yeah, Rehan Ahmed, can you speak?
All right. Well, okay. Yeah. So I believe what needs to be most of what needs to be said has been said about how being humble affects people and how it basically makes people's outlook on you. Now, usually being humble is associated with a good character. When a person sees someone who is humble, who it they usually are able to relate to him in some way, because it instead of making them look like some idol or some someone who's not reachable, it makes them look more down to earth, more more normal like them. If you see celebrities who don't, you'll see celebrities who flaunt their wealth and show off all their luxuries. You may feel like, oh my god, okay, this person is so successful and so this and that. And sometimes people might take it negatively and might feel bad about themselves. But when you see celebrities who are humble and down to earth, who don't basically show off all their wealth and flaunt their luxuries, you have a much more you have more relation to that celebrity or to that person. You are able to relate more. You are able to, you know basically think of them as like, oh, he's just like me. If he's like, popular and rich, maybe I can be too. Is It basically helps people reassure themselves, as it's been stated beforehand. And now, being a person themselves being humble is also, you know to show restraint, to show some form of reservedness. They don't show off every time. They're very kind. They don't like to put others down, and they don't like to step on other people either. They don't like to show other people that, oh, look, I'm above you, I'm better than you. They don't do that. They usually try to stay. They stay at level where they don't flaunt what they have. They don't flaunt their gifts. They don't show it off, and in attempt to make others feel worse, or in attempt to basically make themselves look better. Of course, being humble, can have its, sometimes being too humble might be a bad thing, because people might actually start looking down on you, or looking at you like, okay, this man, he's let's say, in the terms of exams and all of that. Sometimes you'll see students say that, oh, I don't study, I don't do this, I don't do that, but then they'll still end up getting marks. Then the people who study hard might actually be like, oh, okay, they didn't study that much, but they still got good grades. Now, it might be their attempt to try to be humble by saying that, oh, I don't study that much. It's, I don't study. I might not even get good grades. Sometimes people say that, and afterwards they end up getting good grades, while friends may not. And that basically, might make the friends feel worse about how hard they worked in comparison to you. So being too humble is also not that good. While you should sometimes show off, but under appropriate circumstances, is what I believe.
Okay, I have one question. Can you tell what is the difference between humble and modest?
Is this question to me?
The question is, what is the difference between humble and modest?
The difference between humble and modest. So basically, there is a small difference. Humble is when, you know okay, so humble is when you actually think of other people, when you respect other people and show them like the same type of respect. You don't treat people differently just because you're, maybe rich or like that. But a modest person is someone who doesn't boast or brag, as I said with the celebrities example. Someone who doesn't show off, and someone who tends to downplay their, basically not show off their gifts and abilities, as mentioned with the example about the exams and the students who, they say they don't study that hard, but they actually get good grades. They might try to not show that their abilities, but that's because they're trying to be modest, is what I'm trying to say. So simply put, being humble is showing respect to others regardless of your or their position and their stature. But while being modest is to be reserved and to not brag or boast about what you have and your give abilities and all of that.
May I have an on question, Raja?
Yeah,
I have a
of course.
question. Okay, sorry to interruption. Actually, do you know who is the Prime Minister of UK currently?
Sundar Pichai, I guess.
Prime Minister of UK. May I know? Anyone can answer?
I think it's Rishi Sunak. I'm pretty sure.
Thank you very much. And who is the Prime Minister of Bangladesh? Who is the Prime Minister of Bangladesh?
Um, I think Sheikh Has or something. I'm not sure of her full name. But
Sheikh Hasina.
Yeah, Sheikh Hasina.
Okay. Actually, why I am asking these questions about UK Prime Minister and Bangladesh Prime Minister. Actually, there is an event few months back happened in India. I hope it is G20 conference there. So there is an event between Sheikh Hasina and Rishi Sunak. Reza, uh,
Yes.
may I ask you one thing about that? There is an event how Rishi Sunak sat by Sheikh Hasina.
Yeah.
Okay, Rishi Sunak is the prime minister. You can say one of the
superpower.
one of the powerful and mightiest country in the world. On the first world country, as the UK is treated as first world country and one the mighty country in the world. And Bangladesh is one of the member of third world country, you can say. So comparably poor country. Okay, in compared to UK. UK Prime Minister position is always considered the higher position. Okay, and compared to that, Bangladesh position is the downgraded. But how Rishi Sunak show his respect to the Sheikh Hasina? Okay, the way he sat on the floor, Rishi Sunak sat on the floor. Okay, just footing on his left leg, and Sheikh Hasina was sitting on the chair on the sofa. Okay, so that is for me it is a burning example of showing the humbleness to a senior leader. Okay, like Sheikh Hasina. If anybody can share this picture, do you have Reza? You have that photo with you? So you can share with us if we have, or in future you can also produce. It is a very burning example. It is called seeing is
Definitely,
believing.
Rafiq Bhai. Definitely there is a very good example. Thank you, Rafiq Bhai.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
Okay.
If we have, you can share now or in future you can share among our students, so they will easily understand.
Yeah.
Okay, by example. Okay.
Okay, definitely.
Thank you.
So, now, Abrar, you can proceed. If anybody can question here to discuss, you can discuss. I believe Monalisa will say something.
Okay, so I think Radhya Khan didn't speak. Can you go? I guess not. Who else is there? Saria, you can go.
Yeah, I was going to answer Reza's previous question. What is the difference between being humble and being modest? So, like, can I?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so basically, being humble is your behavior with others. Well, while being modest is like in simple words, a person's opinion of themselves. Like for example, like a person who thinks that they're good, like a good person, a nice person, but at the same time they don't brag about it. Like they think they're doing good in life, they're doing good in school, and they don't brag about it. But being humble is just like having humility and like genuinely not bragging about anything, and it doesn't have to be about your own abilities, and it's also your behavior and respect that you show to others. So yeah, I try to put it in simple words. So yeah.
Okay, those are some nice words. Let's move on to the next topic: how to reduce deforestation. Uh, Engineer Biko, I guess.
Okay, thank you. So we can reduce deforestation by like cutting less trees and stuff. But I have a good explanation for deforestation. Deforestation is when humans remove forests, especially like small forests, and use the land for like crops, grazing, extractions, mining, oil, or gas. um this can like develop as the population increases. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for those nice things you said. So next is Rehan Ahmed. You can talk.
All right. So, okay. So basically, now, all right. So the question is how to reduce or eliminate deforestation altogether. Now, this can be done through a lot of ways. So, first of all, we have to consider why do people, cut down trees? Now, one of the most everywhere you look, all you see is paper. All you see are wooden furniture, wooden basically objects, and everything we use and from day to daily, a lot of it is made out of wood. Now, due to this, obviously, the demand for wood will be higher, which will, as you could say, will lead to more deforestation. So then, okay, then it returns, let's say, in terms of paper, instead of buying all these thick heavy textbooks and all these and printing all these papers, basically, purchasing paper products which will support the deforestation industry, we could switch to an alternative, such as notes, basically tablets, which will have notes stored. This will be better for overall, as it can store more data. It can basically, you can access information at any point in any time. It's extremely portable, more so than any textbook or books you will have. And now you can access almost any bit of information you need. If you don't understand the question, you could look it up on YouTube now. And this is where the tablets become extremely useful. Now, over the course of, let's say, your entire, like, let's say, over the course of 2 years of studying, your books in total will cost, let's say, 1,600 dirhams. I mean, and this, I'm talking about textbooks and books in general, and also printing the paper. That's a lot of money. Simply buying a single tablet from an early grade, you can use it throughout all your grades, and basically you'll be saving a lot of money, and at the same time you won't be funding the deforestation industry. Then, speaking of other objects, that have wood in it, furniture, we could opt for furniture. This is a bit difficult because wood is a very sturdy material, but there are alternatives, let's say. But the issue is with alternatives, it funds, well, you might not be funding deforestation, you may be funding another organization. For example, let's say instead of wooden chairs, I decided to buy plastic chairs. Now, for the manufacture of plastic, there's a lot of carbon emissions being produced simply to produce that plastic, that is still funding a bad industry. So things like this, there are things like this that will obviously, there's some things we can't do anything about. If we, even if we try to go for alternatives, all we can do is try to minimize our use of these products. As I said with the tablet example, which I believe would greatly affect the deforestation industry, as paper is one of the biggest products. You might not even know it. You might have thousands upon thousands of paper just in your house or in your room, even if you're a student, at the high grade. Printing all these past papers, I see paper stacked to the roof, and that might be a whole tree by itself. So basically, switching to alternatives and, in a sense, kind of boycotting these companies will reduce their profit margins. And obviously when a company does not make enough profit, they will eventually have to shut down their business, which means that there won't be a company to cut down trees, there won't be any more people to cut down trees. That's all I've had to say.
Thank you for saying those things. I'm really sorry for the disturbance. So next is Sadia. Yeah, Sadia, you can go.
Assalamualaikum. How to reduce or eliminate deforestation is the first thing is we have to know how deforestation is. Deforestation can cause to many big things. It can even let out the greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases are dangerous. There is more. Species can get extinct by this. We can reduce deforestation by cutting down only 1,000 trees a year. People have been cutting down trees since 30 years until 2014. Now people have been cutting down 4.8 million acres of trees in each year. We can eliminate deforestation by saying the deforest cutters who are doing deforestation and make a new way and plant trees to make the environment better. That's all.
Okay. Can you tell your name, which grade and which area?
Grade 4 at Syed Mohammed Sadiqul Islam.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for.
Sorry to cut you, Abrar. Just may I ask one question, Abrar, if
Yeah,
you allow me?
yeah.
Actually, Abrar, actually, we should know about what is the adverse effect of deforestation. So, actually, our students should know about the adverse effects of deforestation. Is it clear to the students about the adverse effect of deforestation, Abrar?
Yes.
Can anyone explain about that? What is the adverse effect of deforestation?
Assalamualaikum Rafiq bhai.
Alaikum salam. I have one questions to the participants. What is the adverse effect of deforestation? So who is going to answer? Sadia?
The effects are of the deforestations. Global warming can rise.
May I correct you? It is not forestation. It is deforestation. Deforestation, not forestation.
Yeah, it's an effect. Like it could happen global warming, species extinction, fishes and wildlife animals habitats can be destroyed, economic losses, and environmental damage.
Nice, well said. I think Sadia understand the impact of deforestation. Actually, the deforestation, okay, actually it is enhance the carbon emission. Normally, forestation, it is called actually not opposite word of the deforestation is afforestation. I think do you aware of the afforestation? Afforestation is the opposite word of the deforestation. Okay, So when you are doing the deforestation, that is cutting the trees, that means, as it, to some extent, Sadia answer is correct. So you are disturbing the habitat, number one. Number two, we are just when we cut the tree, so the tree release the CO2 to the environment. So that is contributing to the global warming. Okay, and afforestation, what happened? Afforestation releasing the oxygen to the environment, contributing to the environment cooling, and reducing the global warming, and contributing to reducing the global warming. And and from the afforestation, we are getting the fruits and shades, and encouraging the living of growth of habitats. Okay, I think concept is clear to Sadia. Thanks for Sadia for your nice answer. Okay, Abra, go ahead. And sorry to interruption.
It's okay. So next is teacher Rabia.
We can stop deforestation by planting more trees and avoid palm oil and recycle and buy recycled products and educate others use renewable energies.
That's it, or you want to add more?
And that's it.
Okay. So next is Saria. You can go on.
What? Yes, thank you. So, to answer engineer Rafiqul Islam's question, what are the effects of deforestation? So the negative effects are like the disruption of water cycles. This is something that people haven't talked about. But deforestation can actually affect a water cycle, and it's not a good thing because we survive on water, so it's a bad thing, and it can cause climate change. And the main problem is it can cause floods since the water from the rain is absorbed by the soil and it goes to trees. But if there's no soil and there's no trees for the water to be absorbed to, then there's going to be more floods. And one of the biggest problems is wildlife extinction, because most animals live in the jungle. Yeah, extinction. Most animals live in the jungle or the forest, and most animals eat grass, trees, bushes, plants. So if we don't have these, then wildlife will start to slowly extinct. But now to answer the main question, how to reduce deforestation. Number one, we can plant more trees. We can, even if we only plant one tree, it will be very helpful for the environment. Number two, we can stop using paper. Instead of buying, as someone said, instead of buying textbooks, heavy textbooks, or getting paper just to draw and stuff, or for projects, you can just, instead of buying textbooks, you can just get the digital version, and you can study from there. And if you you should avoid products that that are made from like trees, like wood, or something like that. Like, you know how paper is made from the sap of trees, something like that. We should not use products that are like that depend on wood to be made. And also we should just genuinely recycle products. And yeah, that's about all I have to say.
Okay, thank you for speaking. Next is Engineer Biko.
Okay, thank you. So, how to reduce climate deforestation? I have one thing here. Instead of using the online version, we can actually use stone, cotton, hemp, mulberries to actually make paper. And most people actually believe that cotton is the most, like, most people know that cotton is the most common one at making like paper, and we can use those to like writing stuff instead of using it digitally, because if we do it digitally for too long, like 2 hours or 3 hours, it might ruin our vision and stuff. That's all.
Thank you for your
Actually,
opinion.
sometime, Abrar, I have one question here. Not
Yeah.
question. I have one comment here. Actually, for the better understanding among our participants, actually, why deforestation is required, happening. Deforestation is happening due to the industrialization. Okay, so that is required. Okay, for a living livelihood. Number one, industrialization. Number two, infrastructure development. Suppose road, bridge, okay. For this construction and development, deforestation is happening. Number three is housing. Okay, so population is increasing. So for their increased need of the house construction for the additional people, so we need deforestation. So to some extent we cannot avoid deforestation, right? As because we need industrialization, we need to build up the infrastructure, we need housing, right? So to some extent, deforestation is required. So how to reduce it? We can reduce it by afforestation. Afforestation means we have to plant more trees, right? Suppose one example, if you cut 5 trees, so you will plant 10 trees. Okay, so by that way we can counteract the deforestation by afforestation. Where we cannot avoid the deforestation, we need it to do it for the development is the industrialization, infrastructure development. But as a counteract, we can plant more trees. Okay, 10 trees we will plant against 5 tree cutting. Am I clear? It is clear to you?
Yes.
Okay, so we need more afforestation. Okay, if we cut 5 trees, we will plant 10 trees. By that way we can counteract and we can make the ecological balance by that way. Okay, so that ecosystem get balanced and equilibrium by that way. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks. Uh, Saria, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to add on to what engineer Rafiqul had said. He was talking about afforestation. So one thing you can do, as we know, he as he said, deforestation is required to some extent. Like for example, if you want to build boats or houses, but one thing you can do one thing you can do about that is using dead trees or trees that have already been cut down to build houses and boats. So you won't be actually doing deforestation. You're just going to be using trees that are already dead. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to add that small point.
Okay. Thanks for saying. I think Sinan Fatin wanted to say something, but then he like stopped raising his hand. You want to say
Oh,
something?
yes.
Okay.
Um, there is also one thing that can possibly stop deforestation, and that's I, the spreading of awareness. This being able to spread the awareness to people. This can teach them about the effects and how deforestation is caused and what what can happen. Deforestation, as it is already said, it's mainly used for housing and whatever. There are also other causes that can also destroy habitats, and it can also destroy forests, like the melting of glaciers, etc. This can increase the the water level, and it can definitely destroy habitats. And and possibly entire forests. This melting of glaciers can be caused from a burning of fossil fuels that can uh, that is also, I think, caused from no, the burning of fossil fuels. It can be counteracted by switching to electrical electrical cars. But the fossil fuels are mainly used for cars that use gas. Switching to electrical cars can prevent that, and that's what I have to say.
Okay, thank you for giving your opinion. Is there anyone else who want to speak before it's the Q&A?
That
Okay.
point we can add here, Abrar. Actually, deforestation can reduce the rainfall. Okay, in the forest area, any forest zone, okay, that area is comparatively environment will be the cool. If the environment is the cool over the forest, then you will have the more rainfall. Okay, you see in the desert area, why the rest less rainfall, as because that area environment is not the cool, hot. So that's why you cannot expect the rainfall. See, in the forest area, we are experiencing the more rainfall. Okay, so deforestation reduce the rainfall. This is another adverse effect of the deforestation. Okay, I think it is clear. This point is clear to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the Q&A.
Abrar, invite everybody to participate in the question and answer session. Anybody can ask and anybody can answer.
Okay. Who wants to go? Saria.
Yeah, I just have one question, I think, and it's not for anyone specifically. Anyone can answer it. So, what do you think? Are there more negative effects or positive effects of playing video games?
Does anyone wants to answer that? Engineer Biko, yeah.
So I think there are more negative effects because most of the time we do like schoolworks, right? But most of the time we download games and play, and they're mostly like not age appropriate, and they're not positive. They're just like there. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, you can go on.
Abrar, I think Khaza Ahmed Bhai, he raised his hand, so we can give him the way to go.
What? I didn't understand.
Khaza Ahmed Bhai.
Engineer Khaja bhai, you can ask the question.
Okay, thank you. One question to, I think, all young stars here is the topic you discussed is being humble or being modest. You are quite nice children here, but when you are addressing any engineer here from this group, you use engineer X, but you are not using uncle. I mean, you're addressing the senior person here in the group. Uh, to me, it does not show being humble or being modest. Any comment, please?
Khaja bhai, you were asking to somebody else or anybody can answer?
I'm opening it to everyone.
Yeah.
Whoever can answer this question, most welcome.
I'm sorry for not saying uncle. I just saw the name and just spoke. So next time I'll make sure.
Go from there.
No, thank you, thanks, Abrar. I mean, to answer like that, but it is obviously is another good teaching of addressing in open forum, and then whenever you are referring to anyone in the group, you have a name on this screen, but you add this social address, senior addressing, well, which is quite good in being humble and modest. It doesn't, you don't lose anything out of it, but it shows your respect to seniors. Yeah, that's simple thing to remind, just a sort of reminder, nothing else.
Okay.
So I wish to give an example of humbleness. Actually, always example is better for a better understanding. Actually, I had an opportunity to work with Japanese people. Used to work in the earliest days of my career with the Japanese company. Okay, it's Toyo Engineering Corporation. I saw the Japanese people humbleness. Abrar, anyone? Do you did you come across to the humbleness of Japanese people? Any idea of the Japanese people humbleness
Yes,
example?
yes. I have been to many places from school. Mostly my classmates are from different countries, and we got trips to different places. So I met many people from different countries like China, Japan, and other Asian countries or rest. Yeah, so they're pretty nice people to speak to. They're always kind.
See how they bow their head in front of others. I actually that impressed me. The bow down their head, okay, to the counterpart of that was this I seen it was seen by me among the Japanese culture. And whenever Japanese people present something to you, they normally use two hands, okay, not one hand. Suppose they will give something to you, but they will give to you using the two hand, not one hand. Suppose he is giving one pen to you, he will use Japanese people use two hands, okay, to present to hand over one pen or any paper to you. So this is the actually symbol of humbleness. So I can give an example, okay, for your better understanding. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone? Yeah, Uncle Biko, you can go.
Don't need to call me uncle. I'm just using my dad's account.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So I have a good question for the last question. How to eliminate deforestation. So I have a question for that. What will happen if we don't stop deforestation? What are the consequences if we do not stop deforestation? What motivated you to do something about deforestation? 3 questions to answer.
Okay, Saria, you can go.
Okay, so what's gonna happen if we don't stop deforestation? I think that's your first question. If we don't stop deforestation, then at some point, that doesn't mean like a few years. At some point, maybe in 150 years, 200, 300, um, nearly all the trees might be gone. If we continue to do deforestation at the current rate, the trees will most of the trees will be gone, and trees absorb and store carbon dioxide, I'm pretty sure. So that's a bad thing if the trees are mostly going to be gone. And also climate change. The thing is, trees help control the climate. So if if we don't control the amount of deforestation going on, there's going to be no way for us to stop or fight the climate crisis. And there's going to be flooding as well, because there's not going to be healthy soil. There won't be enough healthy soil, and there won't be any trees to absorb water from the soil, so there's going to be a flood. And what motivates me to stop deforestation is the fact that even that we think that the future there's going to be flying cars and stuff, robots running the place. But the actual thing is, if we're going to be if we're going to still be doing deforestation, and the future is probably going to look like a factory. It's going to be there's going to be harmful chemicals in the air. There's not going to be any trees. So if we don't want that to happen, we have to do afforestation, and we have to plant more trees and reduce deforestation. There's really no way to eliminate deforestation, because we still need wood from trees to build houses and boats and stuff. But there's certainly a way to reduce it. So it's okay for, and it's good for everyone to try their best to reduce deforestation for a healthy planet and a good future.
Okay, thank you for giving some words. Does anyone want to ask a question, or should I give this let the uncles talk? Okay. I guess there's no one.
Okay, I believe nobody will speak now.
Okay, uncle, you can.
Okay, thank you very much, Abrar Bin Murshed, grade 8, for your excellent presentation. Excellent acting as a moderator. Okay, this is the first time, and I hope that everybody will improve day by day. Okay, and today, thank you very much, Rosalina, right? Rosalina, Engineer Biko.
Excuse me.
I forget your name, Rafaelina, right?
No, Rapunzel.
Rapunzel, okay. Okay, thank you very much for joining first time, and I saw you as a future leader. Huh? Your speaking is very nice, and day by day, I believe it will be improved. And we want you as a moderator after 2 or 3 sessions. Okay. Okay, and you know that today BD Students Leadership Building session number 8, and it will be a bit bi-weekly we are doing, and next week we have knowledge sharing session number 21. Title is French and its importance in English school and professional life. And the speaker will be Professor Engineer Khaja Ahmed by here. Okay, I'll invite now to speaking very briefly. Okay, Engineer Biko.
Okay, yeah. So I actually hope that I could join more sessions like this to build my leadership and stuff. So like I could join more and learn about my leadership, and that's all.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, now I'll invite very short speaking from Engineer Amjad, Engineer Khaja Bhai, Engineer Rafiq Bhai, and at last Muazzam Bhai. Very briefly, because it is very late now, and for the students has to sleep. Engineer Amjad, start.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you, Rijo Bhai. Especially, I would like to thank today's moderator, Mr. Abrar Bin Murshed from Abu Dhabi. His excellent presentation, and the topic was very excellent topic: positive and negative effects on kids because of playing video games, importance of being humble and modest, how to reduce the eliminate deforestation. These three are the very excellent topic we discussed today, and we had a lot of things, and we learned also a lot of things from our kids. Especially, I would like to thank today's the new guest, Rapunzel, is the daughter of Engineer Biku. Really, she's great, and I hope that Reza is nicely he just told us that he will be our future moderator also. And thank you our senior engineer brother Rafiqul Islam Bhai. Also, I think engineer Modum Hassan also our senior engineer there, engineer Khaja Ahmed Bhai. Let us very nicely they spend their time to join us at this session. So basically, I would like to give one message to all that we decided. I discussed already engineer Rizal Rahman Bhai that our session today is now already finished session number 8, and then successfully finished all the sessions, and most of the students are coming to our session, joining, and they are feeling the interest to us. Basically, what means I want to share with you that we want share this knowledge not only for the video engineers students. We want to share this knowledge also another nationalities internationally. You can share with your friends, school friends, also whoever the any country belongs, no problem. So it is we have already decided this is, and we need more participants for the session, next session. Thank you very much. Thank you everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Good night.
Thank you very much, Engineer Amjad. Another participant joined today, Sadiq, I believe. Sadiq from Sharjah, right? Sadiq also only grade 4, and he also spoke very nicely and found it was excellent.
Is Sadia or Sadiq?
ID is Sadia Afrin, but I believe his name is Sadiq, right? Sadiq?
Grade 4.
Yes.
Grade 4.
Yes, excellent.
And
yes.
he pointed the key meaning of the humble and modest and deforestation. Okay. Now, Engineer Khaja Ahmed, you are invited to speak very briefly because the students has to sleep.
Well, good night to everyone. And then you had the concluding day session that you presented. I think that was quite a good stuff. One thing to remember is the time management. I think in future you will follow this. Whatever the time is written officially, you should stick to that strictly. And more we are time bound, more we are disciplined. And that is to some extent sometimes we are late to start, then we should cover it up and then finish on time. Still we can hit the time that is agreed or that is given officially. So it is just a common advice to all about time management. Otherwise, to comment, if you think about the moderator, I think, of course, it is learning platform. You are doing it quite good, but there are ample opportunities to improve. One basic things to remember as a moderator is that you are the focus. You are leading by front. And then when you are moderating, then everything is under your control. So you should actually guide it in such a way that people are inspired to come forward and speak. If you just open the floor and nobody picks up, then it doesn't work. So I think you should get more proactive in getting the participation done within time, of course. And then it's okay, all acceptable. Another issue I raised at the beginning, right from the beginning, is that opening up the video cameras. Then why video cameras are not open unless it is part of the policy for children? Okay, children will not open their video camera, then fine, you may have reasons for that. But for any speakers who is speaking and the audience who is there listening to you, and there is a video camera option, so it is always recommended to open the video camera while you are speaking. Otherwise, many things are not very visible, and then you have plenty of questions at the back of your mind which are not answered. So I think as a part of policy, this should be made compulsory stuff for everybody. So you speak up and then in front of everyone with camera open. This is the last thing is that I would, of course, welcome the student community and the parents in the next presentation where I'll be doing this. I think you are one of the key audience to that presentation. And welcome you all, and of course all your friends and other staff family members to come and join and try to gather some information which might be useful to you and to your family members. So thanks a lot for giving me time to say a few words. Riza Bhai, thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Khaja Ahmed. But your camera is also off, Khaja Bhai. We want to see you. Okay, however, our policy still we did not make any strict policy. In future, definitely your advice will consider. Okay, here Engineer Shafaraz Bhai is here, and other participants, Ruhul Amin also here, Engineer Shagur here, Teacher Rabia here. Okay, now I'll invite Engineer Rafiqul Islam to give us a short speech.
Thanks, Raja. Already, I have taken a lot of time. Actually, I have considered myself as one of the students here. Okay, and that is what that prompted me to participate, to interact among all the future leaders. Actually, I enjoyed too much. Actually, this session is very enthusiastic. Everybody, particularly few students, their comments and their insight and foresight really encouraging. Particularly the deforestation, humbleness. This is very interesting topics. Thanks for Reja for organizing this nice session, and the students and the moderator for your active participation. Okay, in future, these events and these efforts will continue, and we'll enjoy the days to come. Okay, thanks to all. Okay, thanks for giving me opportunity to speak up here. All the best.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Rafiq Bhai. And now I want to invite Mohazem Bhai and conclude our today's session.
Thank you very much. I think it is already very late. As I am in the same line with Khaja Bhai what's told, I think we appreciate, and we should follow the same thing. I will not repeat the same one. It's okay. Today's topics was there, but I think we should suggest something to the students regarding the important part was there, like humble and the modest part. Really, the student in future, they will be supposed to be a doctor, supposed to be an engineer, supposed to be an accountant, or supposed to be any professionals, or whoever it is in their future life. But as a good man, he is supposed to be, or she is supposed to be a good man in the society to get the certification as a man, as a good man. I'm talking about we have in the society many engineers, many doctors, many professionals, many businessmen. But how many engineers, doctors are getting the certificate from the society, from our institution, or our family, or our neighbors, or overall our society? Certification means he is getting or accepted as a good man. That is very rare in our society. So the subject, today's humbleness and this modest is one of the quality. It comes from their family by heredity, and from the neighbors, education institution, and by their own willingness. That's all the quality. It was very important topics, and which is always will be with them, and that will lead them as a good man to be in the society. Very important topics, Oreza, today. It was very important topics. However, I think this is supposed to be repeated in future. When more students will be there, you try to make this session is evening session, is 7:30 around, when the student having off day, or during the holiday. Now they will have some off day from since I think 9th onwards. 20 days they have this school off. If you have the opportunity, or if students are very much free, you can start with along with other session to merge this part, and we can at least give the lesson that the students supposed to be, they will have lot of opportunity to be as a good man in the society, to change the society. They will be the future leader. What quality they should learn or what quality they should earn, that is the big important feature. From my side, this is a personal opinion, to be a good man in the society. That's the good advice and suggestion from my part. Thank you very much, Reza. Your report never be in vain. You will be success. Society will be benefited from you, and society will benefit from everybody from us. As I just Khaza Bhai was telling something, really he's hitting and touching good points, and it will be very nice for us. Let us sit together and make some nice policy, and that will be nice, and it will be benefited from the for everybody to be benefited. Thank you, and good night, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, Muazzam Bhai, for your excellent short speech. And I agree with you. Everybody, we are engineer or doctor or whatever, but same time we must be a good human being. There is no alternative. Okay, thank you very much, Abrar, and thank you very much to all. Okay, and you know that we have on 16 December we have Victory Day program, and this session also all engineers, architects all over the world are invited to participate in the Victory Day session. And this topic also the contributions and challenges of Bangladeshi engineers and architects world in Bangladesh and global sectors. I hope everybody will join the knowledge sharing session and the Victory Day session. Okay. Thank you very much.
So we can leave the session, right, Reza?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you also, Reza. Okay, see you in the next session.
Thank you.
And good night.
Thank you for your cooperation.